Most people treat Wi-Fi like indoor weather. If it works, nobody says thank you. If it stops working for 4 seconds, suddenly the whole house becomes a courtroom drama. Someone starts blaming the provider, someone blames the router, someone restarts everything like they are performing a ritual, and one brave soul walks around the house holding their phone in the air as if better posture will summon stronger signal. But what is Wi-Fi, really? A lot of people talk about Wi-Fi like it is the internet itself. It is not. Wi-Fi is not the internet floating through your home like magical dust. Wi-Fi is simply the wireless link that lets your phone, laptop, TV, tablet, or game console talk to your router without a cable. That's it. The internet is the big outside world. Wi-Fi is the in-between messenger inside your home. Think of the internet as a huge city full of information, and Wi-Fi as the little road that connects your room to the main highway. So when people say the Wi-Fi is slow, what they sometimes mean is one of two very different problems. Either the internet coming into the home is slow, or the wireless link inside the house is weak, crowded, blocked, or badly placed. Those are not the same thing, but to many people, all of it becomes one emotional sentence. Why is this thing ruining my life? Now here's where it gets interesting. Wi-Fi works by sending data through radio waves. Yes, radio waves, the same giant family of electromagnetic waves that includes things like radio broadcasts, microwaves, visible light, and more. Wi-Fi uses specific radio frequency bands that devices are allowed to use without needing a private license in the way many other communication systems do. In everyday home use, the big names you hear are 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz, and now 6 gigahertz on newer gear. And before your brain tries to run away because the word gigahertz sounds like something that belongs in an exam, relax. A frequency is just how fast a wave oscillates. For your daily life, the easy version is this. Different Wi-Fi bands behave differently. 2.4 gigahertz usually reaches farther and deals with obstacles better, but it often has lower speed and more crowding. 5 gigahertz usually delivers higher speed, but it does not travel as far and tends to weaken more easily through walls and obstacles. 6 gigahertz can be even better for high performance in the right conditions, but it is newer and tends to behave more like the higher frequency side of the family than the long-reaching 2.4 side. This is why your router can feel like a liar. It promises speed, your house gives it concrete, brick, metal, water pipes, furniture, mirrors, and the worst enemy of all, bad placement. Now, let's answer the fun question. How does Wi-Fi go through walls? Well, first of all, Wi-Fi does not punch through walls like an action hero kicking down a door. It is not that dramatic. What really happens is that radio waves spread outward from the router, and when they meet objects, several things can happen. Some of the energy passes through, some is reflected, some is absorbed, some is scattered in weird directions. What reaches the other side is often weaker than what started the trip. So when people say Wi-Fi passes through walls, the more accurate version is this. Some of the signal gets through, but it loses strength along the way. This is why your signal bars are not a measure of the router's love for you. They are a rough sign of how much useful signal survived the journey from the router to your device. And not all walls are equal. A thin wooden door is one thing, a thick concrete wall is another. Metal is especially annoying because it can reflect radio waves strongly. Dense construction materials can reduce signal significantly. Water also matters more than most people realize. Human bodies contain a lot of water, so yes, even a room full of people can affect wireless performance, which means your Wi-Fi is not being haunted at your party, it is being bullied by physics. This also explains one of the great mysteries of modern life, why the router works beautifully in the living room, then acts weak and confused in the bedroom 2 walls away. The signal may technically still be there, but it has already lost power fighting through obstacles. And if it is using a higher frequency band like 5 gigahertz or 6 gigahertz, it tends to lose more strength through walls than 2.4 gigahertz. So why not always use 2.4 gigahertz and call it a day? Because life, as always, refuses to be simple. 2.4 gigahertz reaches farther, yes, but it is also a very crowded neighborhood. Many devices use that range and interference can become a problem. Older gadgets, smart home devices, and other wireless systems may all be sharing nearby space. That means 2.4 can be more congested. 5 gigahertz often gives you faster speeds and more room to breathe, especially if you are near the router. So the choice is not good band versus bad band. It is reach versus speed, coverage versus performance, distance versus capacity. That is why newer routers often use multiple bands and quietly decide which connection suits a device best, or let you connect in different ways depending on the setup. Your phone may use one band in one place and another elsewhere. In other words, Wi-Fi is not dumb. It's just dealing with the fact that your house is an obstacle course. Another thing many people misunderstand is that Wi-Fi does not travel in a neat, straight laser line from router to device. Radio waves spread, reflect, bounce, and interfere with each other. Sometimes a reflected path can still help a device receive signal. Sometimes reflections cause weird dead zones. This is why moving your router a small distance can create a surprisingly big change. A router hidden behind a TV cabinet, shoved into a corner, or placed on the floor can perform worse than one placed more openly and centrally. Yet people still treat the router like decoration they want to hide. Then they get offended when physics responds honestly. If you want Wi-Fi to work better, placement matters a lot. Put the router in a more open area. Raise it off the floor. Avoid surrounding it with dense furniture or metal objects. Do not bury it behind the television like it committed a crime. If your house is large or has many thick walls, a single router may not be enough. That's where mesh systems or extra access points can help, by bringing the signal closer to where devices actually are. Because sometimes the answer is not buy faster internet. Sometimes the answer is stop asking one lonely box to conquer an entire concrete maze. Now let's clear up one more thing. If Wi-Fi uses radio waves, is it dangerous because it passes through walls and bodies? This is where internet myths start doing cartwheels. Wi-Fi uses non-ionizing radio frequency energy, not the kind of radiation that has enough energy to break chemical bonds the way ionizing radiation can. In everyday conversation, people hear the word radiation and instantly imagine the worst, as if the router is plotting against the family. But the important detail is the type and energy level. Wi-Fi is part of ordinary radio communication technology used for wireless networking. The real daily problem for most people is not secret doom, it's weak signal in the bathroom. The reason Wi-Fi feels magical is because it's invisible. You can't see the waves, you can't hear them. You just notice that somehow your video loads, your messages send, and your smart TV finds its next show without a cable dragging across the house. But behind that convenience is a lot of basic physics: electromagnetic waves, frequency behavior, signal attenuation, interference, and smart engineering. So no, Wi-Fi is not the internet itself. It's the wireless bridge between your device and the router. And no, it does not magically ignore walls. It gets through because radio waves can pass through some materials, but they become weaker as obstacles absorb, reflect, and scatter the signal. And yes, lower frequency Wi-Fi like 2.4 gigahertz usually handles walls better than higher frequency bands like 5 gigahertz, which is one reason your connection may feel stronger farther away, but slower, while the faster band feels amazing until one wall decides to ruin the mood. Once you understand that, your home Wi-Fi suddenly makes a lot more sense. The kitchen dead zone, the bedroom slowdown, the random spot near the stairs where everything is perfect. None of it is black magic. It's just radio behavior inside a building full of materials that were never designed to make your streaming life easy. And honestly, that may be the funniest part. Humans built houses out of signal-blocking materials, filled them with reflective objects, hid routers in corners, then acted shocked that invisible radio waves don't perform like obedient servants. So the next time someone says, "Why can Wi-Fi go through walls?" you can give the real answer. It doesn't glide through untouched. It survives the journey. Sometimes well, sometimes badly. And what survives depends on frequency, distance, obstacles, interference, and how kindly your home treats radio waves. Which part surprised you most? That Wi-Fi is just radio? That walls weaken it instead of stopping it completely? Or that your own house might be the real villain? Tell me in the comments. And if you like tech explained in a fun, no-nonsense way, like, share, and follow WiseUse for more.